If you're done creating a test and you're ready to publish it and administer it, you can click this button and it's going to walk you through the same steps that I'm going to walk you through in Illuminate. And again, remember, we're going to remind you of this a lot. You are in the item bank now, even though it looks just like when you're in Illuminate. So you're in the item bank. So I'm going to return to Illuminate. Remember, now I'm in the item bank. I want you to return to Illuminate, and we are going to administer your test online from there. So my first page here has all of my assessments listed and all the assessments that are shared with me. That's going to be another tutorial that I'm going to show you. I'm also in the new version. I'm going to click to the old version so I can show you both. The new version gives you an option that the old version doesn't. So I'm just going to click this so we can see both. So the old version, if you notice, I have this menu up here and my tests are listed here. I prefer the new version because there's a couple options that you can choose from right off this screen. But if you're in the old version and you like the old version, here's how you administer an item bank test. So I have my History 7 test created. I'm going to select that test. Now it's going to give me options. I can print answer sheets. I'm going to let you read through all of these. What I'm looking for is I want to administer online. You don't have to use this dialog box, but it's the one that shows up when you first click on your test to administer it. So I'm going to click Administer Online. The next thing you'll have to do is you are going to add a roster. You can quick add a roster, but I'm going to go over how to add a roster and set up your classes. I really like this because I can set up for instance, if I have a test on Friday, I can set up each class at their own time, get it done on whenever I'm ready. I can do it a week before, a month before. I could set up my final right now if I had everything done, and then I don't have to worry about it. So click Add a Roster. You're going to pick the date that you want your test. So let's say, most of this stuff you can walk yourself through. Let's say it's next Friday. So my testing window, you could have it open for a week. I'm going to have mine only open for the day, and we're going to start it. Again, this is all stuff I'm sure you can do. Let's say it's first period, so we're going to do it from 8 to 9 a.m. And I'm going to select the academic year. If you notice down here, I'm going to start filtering things out. So it's got all of my classes. When I could pick grade level, I teach 7th and 8th. So if you notice, it gets all my 7th out, but my 8th grade is actually first period, even though it's a 7th history test. And I could pick my departments. I could pick the different courses. So here's my first period. Now, if I only want to select my first period class, I select on first period, and if you notice, this changes to 25 students. If I only want to select certain people in that class, maybe they were absent and they're coming back to take the test, I could select certain people. If I hold down the control button while I'm selecting people, let's say there are a few people that were gone on a field trip and they have to take it, I can select a few at a time, and you can see it's counting the numbers. If it's just a regular test and I want to give it to everybody, I select all students and all 25 are selected. Now, let's look at some administration settings. Again, you can read through these if you'd like. If you want, a couple that I use or don't use is a password. So the kids would have to enter a password in order to take the test. You can do that if you want. I don't usually do that because it's only open for a certain amount of time when I do it. But if you were going to open it all day and you wanted to give them a password, that would be fine if you had them do it at home or whatever. We can't use this yet, but I believe we're working on a locked browser so the kids can't go search for answers. And then finally, you can randomize the choice order. You can't randomize the questions because the reports I believe it has to do with the reports and how it reads the reports that you get back after the test is done. I usually click that. There are some tools that you can use or not use. I haven't used many of these for my class, but for some of you, I'm sure you will use them. Now, this is one that I do use, is text-to-speech. That means all of the questions, the kids will have the ability to get them read to them automatically, which is really nice. The only thing about that is it will not do the items that you've created, the text-to-speech, or at least it didn't last year. And then finally, the review. And if you want your kids to see the results, and you can open that window. So again, if you only want them to see, if you know that other kids are testing that day and you want this window to close, you can close it. You can leave it open. I tend to give the kids the key so they can see the questions that they got correct. And so I'll close this window, but if you just wanted to give them the results and you wanted to leave this window open for, and I guess this was longer than a day, for a week so parents could see it, and do that as well. You can also come back and open this later. So once I've got everything checked off, everything's good, I click save. And it's saving, but what it's telling me here is that how many students, course info, site info, now it's ready to go. Day window. If I don't like any of these things, if I want to add students, I can click edit. And it takes me right back to that edit screen. And there you go. One last thing I want to show you, and I told you that I want to show you the new view. So let's look at the new view. Now you can notice some things change. I have my lists over here. Now, instead of clicking on the test and then administering, I can come over here to action and click on administer. And it gives me the same options. Now, this was for my first period class. If I want to change the times for my second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth periods, I would just add a roster for each class and go through the same process. If I want to just open it up all day, I can add all of my classes at one time and have the test open all day. And there you go. That's how you administer a test online. See you next time.